Let's be honest, folks. The image of a rugged cowboy puffing on a Marlboro doesn't exactly scream ladies' choice. It's hard to imagine now, but Marlboro's journey began a completely different direction. Believe it or not, Marlboro started off targeting a very different audience. Back in the 1920s, they were marketed as a premium cigarette specifically for women. The brand was all about sophistication and elegance. They wanted to appeal to the modern, fashionable woman of the time. Think elegant packaging, even a red filter band to hide lipstick stains. It was all about class and style. Marlboro tried to appeal to the modern woman, the flapper, the suffragette, the embodiment of the roaring 20s. They touted their cigarettes as being mild as May, a slogan that was meant to evoke a sense of gentleness and refinement. They even sponsored women's suffrage movements, aligning themselves with the progressive causes of the day, but it wasn't exactly a roaring success. The Great Depression hit, and suddenly those fancy cigarettes weren't looking so hot. Turns out, even back then, associating your product with female empowerment was a risky move. The economic downturn made people prioritize essentials over luxury items. The Great Depression hit hard, and people needed something cheap and cheerful, not something that reminded them of their dwindling bank accounts. Marlboro was in a tough spot. The brand struggled to find its footing in a market that was rapidly changing. The economic hardships of the time meant that Marlboro had to rethink its strategy. They needed a new direction, a new identity. The brand limped along, but it wasn't until after World War II that things really started to change. The post-war era brought new opportunities and a shift in consumer behavior. And boy, did they change. The introduction of the Marlboro Man transformed the brand's image completely, setting the stage for its future success. After World War II, America was a different place. The war had left an indelible mark on the nation, reshaping its identity and the lives of its people. Men were returning home from war, and there was a palpable sense of masculinity in the air. These men had faced the horrors of battle and emerged as heroes, ready to rebuild their lives and their country. Marlboro saw an opportunity in this shifting landscape. They decided to ditch the whole feminine thing and go in a completely different direction, rugged masculinity. The brand needed to resonate with these returning heroes. They repackaged their cigarettes. Gone were the delicate designs, replaced with a bold red and white package. This new look was meant to appeal to the strong, resilient men who had just come back from the front lines. They even introduced flip-top boxes, which were seen as more manly and convenient. This innovation was not just about aesthetics, it was about functionality and ease of use, aligning perfectly with the rugged image they wanted to project. But the biggest change was yet to come. Marlboro needed a symbol, something that embodied this new rugged image. They needed a figure who could encapsulate the essence of strength and independence. Enter the Marlboro Man. He was everything Marlboro wanted to be: strong, silent, and undeniably masculine. He was a cowboy, a construction worker, a rugged outdoorsman. He represented the ideal man of the era, someone who was self-reliant and tough. He was a walking, talking, well, not talking because cowboys are too cool for that, advertisement for Marlboro cigarettes. His image was plastered everywhere, from billboards to magazines, creating an iconic presence that was hard to ignore. The campaign was a stroke of genius. It tapped into a deep-seated desire for freedom, adventure, and masculinity. It wasn't just selling cigarettes, it was selling a lifestyle, a dream of what it meant to be a man in post-war America. And it worked like a charm. Marlboro's sales skyrocketed, and the brand became synonymous with rugged masculinity. The Marlboro Man had become an enduring symbol of American culture, a testament to the power of effective rebranding. The Marlboro Man campaign was more than just advertising, it was a cultural phenomenon. He became an icon, a symbol of American masculinity, and Marlboro's sales went through the roof. Before the Marlboro Man, the brand was struggling. After him, they became one of the best-selling cigarette brands in the world. It was a testament to the power of advertising and the enduring appeal of a certain kind of American masculinity. But the Marlboro Man wasn't without his critics. Health experts began to raise concerns about the dangers of smoking, and the image of the rugged, healthy cowboy selling cigarettes became increasingly at odds with reality. Let's break it down, folks. Marlboro, despite its troubles, is a powerhouse. Their strength, brand recognition, that red and white pack, instantly recognizable. They've also got global reach, selling cigarettes in almost every corner of the world. But weaknesses? Oh boy, do they have weaknesses. The biggest one, they sell cigarettes. Not exactly a growth industry in the 21st century. Plus, their image is tied to the Marlboro Man, a figure increasingly out of step with modern sensibilities. Opportunities? Well, they're trying to diversify, moving into things like heated tobacco products. Whether that'll be enough to offset the decline in smoking is another question. Finally, threats. Where do we even begin? Government regulation, anti-smoking campaigns, the growing awareness of the health risks associated with smoking. It's a tough environment for a cigarette company to thrive in. Section 5. The big picture? PESTEL and the Marlboro landscape. PESTEL analysis time. This framework helps us understand the macro-environmental factors that could impact Marlboro's business landscape. That's political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors, in case you were wondering. Each of these elements plays a crucial role in shaping the future of the tobacco industry. And for Marlboro, it's not a pretty picture. The company is facing significant headwinds on multiple fronts. Politically, governments around the world are cracking down on smoking. This includes stricter regulations and more aggressive anti-smoking campaigns. Taxes are going up, advertising is being restricted, and smoking bans are becoming the norm. These measures are designed to reduce smoking rates and protect public health. Economically, smoking is becoming increasingly expensive, making it less attractive, especially to younger generations. The rising cost of cigarettes is a significant deterrent. Socially, smoking is increasingly seen as taboo. Public perception has shifted dramatically, and smoking is no longer considered a socially acceptable habit. The days of the Marlboro Man being seen as cool are long gone. Today's youth are more health conscious and less likely to pick up smoking. Technologically, there are now alternatives to cigarettes like vaping, which are seen as less harmful, though that's debatable. These alternatives are gaining popularity and eating into Marlboro's market share. Environmentally, cigarette butts are a major source of pollution. They contribute to litter and environmental degradation, leading to increased scrutiny and regulation. And legally, Marlboro faces a barrage of lawsuits from people who have been harmed by their products. These legal challenges are costly and damaging to the company's reputation. It's a perfect storm of challenges for the company. Navigating this complex landscape requires strategic thinking and adaptability. Marlboro must innovate and evolve to survive in this ever-changing environment. Section 6. Overcoming obstacles, innovation and expansion. Despite all these challenges, Marlboro hasn't just rolled over and given up. They've been forced to adapt, and they've done so through a combination of innovation and expansion. They've invested heavily in new products like heated tobacco products, which they claim are less harmful than traditional cigarettes. They've also expanded into new markets, particularly in the developing world, where smoking rates are still high. These strategies have helped Marlboro remain profitable, but they're not without their critics. Some argue that heated tobacco products are just as harmful as cigarettes, and that Marlboro is simply targeting new markets with its addictive products. Section 7. A sustainable smoke, Marlboro's future moves. Marlboro knows that the writing's on the wall. Smoking rates are declining, and the pressure from governments and health organizations is only going to increase. So what's their next move? They're trying to position themselves as a responsible tobacco company. They have introduced initiatives to reduce the environmental impact of their products, and they've even launched campaigns to discourage underage smoking. But let's be real, folks. Marlboro's core business is still selling cigarettes, a product that kills millions of people every year. Whether they can truly reinvent themselves as a sustainable and responsible company remains to be seen. Section 8. Still smoking? Marlboro's global footprint. So there you have it. The story of Marlboro is a fascinating one. It's a story of marketing genius, of cultural impact, and of the challenges faced by a company whose core product is slowly killing its customers. Marlboro is still a global giant, a testament to the power of branding and the addictive nature of nicotine. But the future looks uncertain. As the world wakes up to the dangers of smoking, Marlboro will have to adapt or risk going up in smoke itself.